Okay, good evening, guys. So, my name is Yeow Wei Ping, matrix number 254466.
And my name is Wei Ke Hong, matrix number 254193.
My name is Pei Xin and my metric number is 254455.
My name is Chan Xin Hui. My metric number is 253065.
My name is Elil Arasi. My metric number is 259269.
Okay, so in today's meeting, we will be discussing about the communication problem in workplace. So, do you guys have any ideas about this issue?
This is a very interesting issue for our discussion today. As I know, communication problem is widely happening in almost every workplace nowadays. This might be a issue that something we have to be addressed now.
I second your opinion, Pei Xin. I recently read an article regarding the communication issue faced by the employee in the workplace, and this led to a poor performance of an organization.
What do you think, Ellie?
I would like to add on that the poor communication in workplace leads to low productivity, and due to that, the businesses around the world lost around 62.4 million annually.
So that's a large sum of amount. As I understand that the communication problem is something inevitable and it also will lead to the loss of profit in an organization if it was not solved. So as Pei Xin said earlier, this is something that we need to address and we have to find a solution to prevent this problem.
Right, well done. Thank you for your guys' opinions regarding the issue. As you guys say, it has to be addressed. For that, I would like to ask if you guys have any solution for this issue. How about let's start with Ellie. Ellie, can you give me a solution for this issue?
According to my opinion, I think an organization should use the right communication tools to communicate. For instance, an organization can use internal group chat so that they can communicate anytime and anywhere. Besides, employee also can use the suggestion box to communicate regarding the improvement needed in an organization.
Yeah, that's a good. What do you think, Cindy?
It is a good idea, but I think implementing a two-way communication is a better solution. As I know, in an organization, usually top management will make the decision all the time. But if they try to communicate with the bottom management through bottom management feedback, they can able to make a better decisions and less communication problem will happen.
For me, in my opinion, I guess organizations should focus on consistency to prevent communication problem. It is because by focusing on consistency, employee and supervisor will communicate much more often and it will lead to a better work progress and better communication. This is what I suggest.
I see, I see. So, thank you for your solution suggestions, Cindy, Pei Xin, Hong. Hong, what do you think about other solutions idea?
So yes, based of my opinion, I assume by implementing follow-through method would be the good solution to prevent the communication issue. So by doing this method, usually the executive they will follow through their employees and make sure the employee will reach the target's goal. So the communication will naturally happen and the employees also will be updated and know what they need to do from the beginning until the end.
That sounds great. I would like to add another solution in the list. I feel that giving recognition to the employees who did great job by giving complimentary awards or any monetary increment will create a better communication between workers as they will communicate to bring better outcome and perform better at workplace.
That's a good solution too.
Alright, so now that we have 5 solutions in the list, so can you guys suggest some criteria for the solutions?
Let me start first. I suggest that we should have effectiveness and reliability, because effectiveness to solve the issue and trustworthy of the solution to solve the issue is important, and so that we won't be wasting our time. This is what I suggest.
So for me, I would like to suggest feasibility.
Sorry for interrupting. Hong, may I know why you suggest feasibility into the criteria list?
Okay, the reason why I suggest the feasibility is because we have to look into the factor if we are particularly capable or have the capacity to implement the solution.
Ah, I see. Understood. Thank you.
I think efficiency is an important criteria too, and we should add it into the list. Because the time frame taken by a solution to solve the issue is important too, so that we can able to choose the solution that able to quickly solve the communication problem.
Okay, very well done, guys. Is there any other criteria that we should include?
I would like to add one more. It is sustainability. Because when we implement a solution, we have to make sure it lasts for some time. If it doesn't last long, eventually the same problem will arise within a short period of time.
Yeah, I second your opinion, Ellie.
Okay, that is good. Since we have some solution to overcome this issue and require some criteria, so now let's try to evaluate them. Anyone would like to begin?
Sure. I would like to begin with the effectiveness for the use of the right communication tool. I think the effectiveness of this solution is moderate, because using online platform is not as effective as facing the worker face to face to communicate.
Yes, Cindy, I do think the same. I second your opinion.
That's a good point. I would agree with their opinion as well. So we decide the effectiveness of the solution is moderate. How about the second solution?
For the second solution, I think the effectiveness is high compared to the first solution, since there's two-way communication between workers.
Yeah, I do see eye to eye with you in the matter. Let's move to the third solution, effectiveness. What do you think, Pei Xin?
As for me, I think the effectiveness for focus on consistency is high too, because workers will communicate often as they have regular check-ins to make sure they are on the right track.
That is true. I think it is high too.
Okay, let me note that down. And Hong, what do you think about for the fourth solution, effectiveness?
So I assume it as high level as the previous two solutions, because in followed by the follow through method, the top management and the lower management people, they will communicate every now and then.
I see, I see. Okay, thank you. Let's move to the last solution. What do you guys think?
As for the last solution, I firmly believe that it has moderate level of effectiveness, as giving recognition to one good performing employee won't effectively solve the communication problem between employees.
Yep, that's a great point. I agree. Okay, since we have discussed the effectiveness, so let's move on to the second criteria, the reliability of each solution. Let's start with Pei Xin.
Yeah, I will begin with it. For the use of right communication tool, I think it has a low level of reliability, because there's no guarantee that a new communication medium will help to overcome the communication problem workers have.
Yeah, I agree because it might be easy for workers to communicate, but there is no guarantee for sure that it will solve the other communication issue like misunderstanding in communication. So I believe it has low level of reliability too. So let's look into the next solutions reliability. Cindy, we'll give it a try.
For the second solutions, the reliability is high because, as we discussed before, there are two-way communication between the employee and the executive. So it is high reliability to solve the issue.
Yeah, that's a good opinion. What do you think, Ellie?
I do agree with Cindy's points because there are high probability to solve an issue when there's a two-way communication.
Okay, so the second solution's reliability is high. Let's move to the third solution. Anyone, please state your point.
As for me, I think that the third solution, the reliability is high too, because the communication occur more often in this solution compared to the other solution.
Yeah, that's a remarkable point. I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that point as well.
Okay, so now let's look into fourth solutions reliability. Ellie, would like to try?
I would like to try for that, and I would like to state my opinion for the fourth solution that the reliability for the fourth solution is high too.
And sorry, Ali, I would like to interrupt a bit. If you don't mind, can you explain why do you think the reliability is high?
Yeah, sure. It is because employees from all managerial level do communicate between each other, so it could help to overcome the communication issues at workplace.
I
That's what I
see, I see. All right, thank you.
Yep, that's good, guys. Let me note that too. So, how about the fifth solution reliability?
For solution 5, I think it has low level of reliability compared to other solutions. Because as Ellie mentioned before, giving recognitions to one's good performing employee will not effectively solve the communication problem between the employee.
Okay, thank you, Cindy. I agree with that. Right now, let's further our discussion to the third criteria, feasibility.
So based on my opinion, the feasibility for using the right communication tool is high because it can be easily or conveniently done by using the internal group chat, suggestion box, and etc.
That's true, and I do agree with you, Hong.
Okay, so it's high feasibility for the first solution. How about the second solution, Pei Xin?
And as for solution 2, I think the feasibility is moderate because it needs both executive and also employees totally free to communicate face to face. Therefore, I believe this solution is average to implement.
Indeed, it is not easy for both the employee and executive to be available at the same time since everyone have their own jobs or the tasks to do.
Yeah, that's right. I'm agree with Pei Xin and Hong explanation. For the third solution, Cindy, do you have any ideas?
I would like to share my opinions. I think feasibility for focus on consistency is low.
I apologize for the interruption. I'm curious that why did you evaluate it as low for this solution? Can you explain it further, Cindy?
Yeah, sure. As Hong said, it is not easy for both employee and the executive to being available at the same time. Not to mention focus on consistency is even harder since it requires regular check-in by the supervisor while the employee work.
I see. Thanks for the explanation. I totally get it now.
Yeah, again, that's a remarkable point. Let it, Okay, let's move to the fourth solution. Ellie, would you like to try?
Yeah, sure. For the fourth solution, follow through, its feasibility should be moderate compared to other solutions. Reason for this is because manager or executives just requires to check briefly that employees are updated and not getting confused from the beginning till the end of their task. Besides, follow through doesn't require daily communication between executives and employees. That's the reason.
Yes, the difference is obvious. I agree with the decision. What do you think, Pei Xin?
Actually, I wasn't so sure at first, but then after the explanation by Ellie, I completely agree with her now.
Okay, so let's move to the last solution. I think the level of feasibility for recognition to the employee who did the great job is high. This is due to the fact that it's very easy to implement. For example, general compliment or in monetary form.
Yep, yep, it is high feasibility without a doubt. So I would like to give a try for the next criteria, which is the efficiency. So I think the level of efficiency for the first solution is moderate. It is easier to implement a right communication tool, but it may not be efficiency enough to completely solve the communication problem.
Yes, that's right. Tools such as suggestion box, internal group chat might be completely forgotten by the executive or employee after a year.
Yeah, strong explanation by Hong and Cindy. What about the second solution, Pei Xin?
For the solution, communication is a two-way street. I assume that this is a low efficiency.
Yeah, I agree. But can you explain more about your evaluation?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I think it is a low efficiency due to the time taken to solve the communication problem. Firstly, face-to-face discussion definitely consume a lot of time, and you cannot guarantee that all of your audience are listening. If the person you are trying to speak to isn't that engaged with what you're talking about, then you won't get very far.
Thanks for the idea, Paisin. Originally, I was just thinking about the pros and you reminded me about the cons too. We should observe objectively and concern about the overall situation.
Well done, Pei Xin. I like the way how you observe the situation objectively and evaluate carefully. How about the following solution, Cindy?
For the third and fourth solutions, I firmly believe that they are high efficiency. As we discussed earlier, both of them are quite similar in solving the communication problems through regular check-in and follow-up on employee works. They are very efficiency due to the direct guidance of executive towards the employee. So therefore, I believe that both of these solutions is able to solve the communication problem very quickly.
So that's true. I totally agree with Cindy.
Alright, that's good, guys. Ellie, would you like to try the last solution?
Sure, definitely. I evaluate employee recognition as low efficiency because the wrong method of employee recognition can destroy whatever motivation a hard worker have. There's only so many times that an executive can say thank you before it begins to feel hollow and meaningless.
So that's right. In addition, when one team member tends to be recognized more than other on the same effort, so then the employee recognition can cause a divide within a team very quickly, and this may create a jealous in the group.
Well said by Ellie and Hong. Low efficiency noted for this solution. Let's move to the last criteria, sustainability. Does anyone want to try the first solution?
Yeah, I would like to start first. First of all, I think the sustainability for using the right communication is moderate. As Cindy said earlier, this solution wouldn't last long in solving the communication problem. It is because after a year, those suggestion box or internal group chat might be forgotten.
That's right. It can avoid the breakdown in communications, but would not last very long in solving the communication problem. Actually.
Yeah, I agree with the evolution. For using two-way communication, what do you guys think?
For this solution, I think it's high sustainability as the face-to-face communication can create a stronger connection when the time passes, and it is definitely can go a long way by leading a stronger working relationship in the long term.
That's true. I second your opinion, Hong.
All right, let's move to the third solution. Focus on consistency.
For me, I think it is moderate. Since focus on consistency require executive or manager to regular check in order to keep the employees on track. The consistency right there cannot be guaranteed by executive to sustain for more than 2 or 3 years. Therefore, a moderate level of sustainability is appropriate for this solution.
Yeah, I agree with Cindy. Maintaining sustainability and consistency is a constant battle with that little devil in your mind that telling you that it isn't worth it. So, how about the fourth solution? Ellie, would you like to try?
Yeah. Follow through definitely has a high sustainability in solving the communication problem. It could last long because the top management and bottom management people tend to communicate every now and then to achieve a goal. Eventually, this practice leads to better communication within the circle. And if followed correctly, it will become a tradition or norm in an organization. That's why I think it has a high sustainability.
That's a very good opinion. What do you think, Pei Xin?
Yeah, for me, I totally agree with Ellie. And for the last solution, recognition to employees, I think it has a low level of sustainability. As Ellie and Hong said earlier, employee recognition might begin to feel hollow and meaningless after a period of time. Besides, if one or two employees are recognized per year, it won't sustain through more than a year for sure in solving the communication problem.
Okay, I agree with that, Pei Xin. Let me note that down. So, all right, since we have done the evaluation of all the criteria on all of the solutions, I think we can now decide which solution is the best to solve the communication problem. So, according to the table, follow through definitely has the highest score compared to other solutions. I personally think that it is the best solution because top or middle management people would be guiding the employees to do their tasks every now and then. So as a result, employees won't get confused over their tasks and organization goals. Therefore, follow through method will profit an organization more in terms of effectiveness, reliability, feasibility, efficiency, and sustainability compared to the others. So, do you guys agree with this decision?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, I do agree with you.
Definitely yes.
Okay. Anyway, can anyone suggest the way to implement the follow-through method in overcoming the communication problem at workplace?
So I think we can implement this by creating a long-standing group.
If you don't mind, can you please explain more about the long-standing group?
No problem. So for the last long-standing group, is a small group which works toward a certain goal in an organization. By forming this group, the group's member they will work on to to improvise the communication efficiency, especially in the workplace. So this group member they can work together, and the group can be last for many years. So I guess by creating this group, it will be the great to implement the follow-through method.
That's a great idea. I agree with it. So, how about others? Do you guys agree with who?
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
Yes, I agree.
All right. I think we have a good discussion and we found a good solution too in this meeting. So, I thanks for all of your contribution. How about let's call it a day? Thank you, guys.